Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage and welcome back to Community Fridays. This week we have a really awesome deck from Desmond in the Base Damage Discord. Nikke, 8 salvage, 8 door as people call it, mainly based off of Red Hood, and this is a really fun deck. I've been testing this out on the simulator. I'm going to make my own version of this at some point, and I'm going to see what tweaks I could make to it, but I just really like the gimmick of it. It's just really fun. We're not going to go too far into this before we go ahead and do the deck profile. I'm just going to say Desmond said his quote when he posted the deck profile was "RedHead Supremacy." You know what? I agree with you there, brother. So let's jump right into it. So Red Hood. Let's talk about this card. This is a hell of a card. 3/2 9,000. When this is placed on stage from your hand or from your memory, there's a key thing for that in a second here. This gets plus 4,500 power and the following abilities until the end of turn. So plus 4,500 is going to make her a 13/5. If you have her salvage trigger for her climax, she'll be a 14/5 before anything else, and there's definitely more. Let me just put it that way. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put that character into your opponent's clock. Very nice clock shoot. At the beginning of the encore step, put this card into your memory. Now, basically, it's supposed to be a drawback, but it's also a setup for her climax combo. If this card is in your memory, when Red Ash is placed on your climax area, if your level is 3 or higher, you may pay 3 and discard 2 cards. If you do, put this card on an open position of your stage and deal 1 damage to your opponent 2 times. So we're going to break this down a bit further once we get a bit farther. Behind my head is a particular Snow White that needs to be discussed before we really talk about Red Hood and the combo with all that. We will talk about Snow White first, and then we're going to come back to this. So let's continue. So 4 copies of Red Hood, 3 copies of Wonderland Alice. This is the early play. This is like the good early play from Nikke. There's other early plays, but they're not as good as this, just saying. 3/2 8k. If you have 4 or more Nikke minus the level in hand, super simple. If all of your characters are Nikke, this gains 2k power and the following ability. When the card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put that character on top of the opponent's deck. This is cross turn, so she's constantly at 10k basically. But the top deck kick effect is cross turn. If your opponent rams something into Alice, you can say, cool, bounce it to the top of your deck. GG's. Okay. Really awesome. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a Nikke character specifically. If you do, return the top card of your clock to your hand. So you don't have to worry about the discard cost because you're recovering a card back to your hand anyway, and it's healing. So very nice there. This is just such a damn good early play. 2 copies of New World Modernia. This is from the trial deck. It's a 3/2 10,500. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can choose up to 1 character with a level 2 or equal than your level in your hand and put it on any position of your stage, and that character gets 2,000 power till end of turn. Basically, she doesn't really have any other early play conditions from what I've seen, so it's when you summon this at level 3, you can summon another level 3 or lower, which is just really good to be able to maybe summon another Red Hood or something. You'll see. When this card attacks, you can discard 2 cards. If you do, put the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck into their waiting room. Deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to the number of climaxes amongst those cards. So a little bit extra push there. This Hoshou Marin lookalike, don't think too much about it. Just don't think too much about it. It's a 2/1 7,500 Sail Through the Tempest Mast. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 climax in their waiting room, return all cards except that card from their waiting room to their deck, and shuffle their deck. So it is a Fumio. You just kind of tech the one of, but it's good. It does its job. 1 copy of Ludmilla Winter Owner. Mother's Day just happened. This is a good one. 2/1 4,000, placed on stage from hand. Choose up to 2 of your characters. They get 1,500 power till end of turn. And it has an act ability to send herself to stock, and you put the bottom card of your stock into your waiting room. Choose one of your opponent's characters, return it to their hand. So you can get rid of some annoying things on field. Oh, you have an anti-burn, you have an anti-salvage. Get the hell off, just get out. All right, so now the big one. Snow White. No 7 dwarfs. Snow White Innocent Days. 2/1 5,500. If you do not have another Snow White, all of your other climaxes with salvage get a crit trigger. Just a little bit extra push for damage. It matters in other deck builds, but for this deck build, it doesn't matter as much other than just pushing damage. Just keeping that out there. Her second effect is along the same conditions. You basically can only have one copy of her on the field. You can't play 2 copies of her, otherwise she doesn't get these. If you have 3 or more other Nikke characters and you don't have another copy of her, just the one copy, Red Hood, the level 3 Red Hood gets, which I know it says the whole name, to my greatest friends, gets -1 level while in your hand. And also all of your level 3 or higher characters in front of this gain 2k power, so keep that in mind. This allows you to early play the Red Hood, so what you're meant to do is to at least summon 1 copy, you know, do some clock shoot shenanigans and everything, then they bounce out to your memory. So then at level 3, you can use the Climax combo to summon any number of copies as long as you can pay the cost. Now, because it's obviously going to get a little bit heftier, even just trying to summon 2 requires 6 stock and 4 cards from hand. So it's really, really hefty. So you're probably usually only trying to summon at least 1 off of this effect, but when you're able to do guaranteed damage like the clock shoot and everything, it's really, really strong. It's all good. She still bounces out at the end of each or at the beginning of each encore step, no matter how she's summoned, so she's not staying on the field. You basically have to either keep summoning her from hand or keep bouncing her back in with the Climax combo. So it's a really weird gimmick, and like I said before, she gets even bigger because of Snow White, so whatever number I said before, add an extra 2,000 to it, so you're going to get your guaranteed clock shoots. It's going to be kind of nutty. And then the extra burn damage, the poke 1 twice, is just really, really fun. It is a really weird gimmick. It's not the best combo in the world, but it's fun. And that's what this game is all about. Having fun. A lot of, contrary to what some people like to say. All right, so continuing on, we have the one and only backup in the deck. Boom Install Eleg is a 1/0, 2500. It is a 1000 backup, and it is the anti-change of the deck, of the set, I should say. There's no other anti-change right now. We need a volume 2 with another better anti-change. But it's still good. When you use this card's backup, you can discard 2 cards, choose one of your opponent's characters with a level higher than the level, and put it into their memory. So, reason why I say I want a better one is it gets rid of stuff, and you can even start hitting, like, level 2 standby early play shenanigans, but it's the fact that it sends them to memory. Doing so for your opponent basically compresses them. Like, memory compression is a real thing. The more cards your opponent's able to put into memory, clean card, not any climaxes, obviously. We're not Saber, Excalibur combo here. It makes it so it does compress your opponent even the slightest bit. So I wish there was a better anti-change backup, but at least there are like some reversers and whatnot that you could do if I remember correctly. But this is all we got right now, so this is what we got to do. Next, we get to Angelic Smile Doro Doro memes. 104k, it's Dorothy. She gets 1,000 power for each other Nikke in your backstage, so she'll be a 6k constantly, which is really nice. When this card attacks, if Wings of Paradise is in your climax area, you have 3 or more other Nikke characters. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose one Nikke character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and this gets 1,000 power till end of turn. The rest of the cards go to waiting room. So she can end up becoming a 8,000 between her own buffs and the climax being in play, not counting anything else buffing her. So she's able to get over a lot of stuff, but you also don't have to reverse. It's all good. But now you got the 8 salvage set up. You're able to go to town, and all of them have crit triggers if you have the Snow White thing in play. So next, we have 2 copies of Powering Up Miranda. 103k. During your turn, she gets extra 3k, and on attack, you can pay 1 trigger check twice. Twin Drive. Very nice. Twin Drive is also kind of useful in the double salvage setups because it basically kind of becomes like just getting your more resources and whatnot. So it's very useful. All right, we have a lot of level 0s here. Desmond went ham on the level 0s. We also do have a level 3 event from the trial deck, but we'll get to that in a second here. But I think I counted and it's like 20 or something level 0s. I forget. We'll just saying, it's a lot. We have 1 copy of AK Missile Privity 00500. It's the Brainstormer from the trial deck. So it's a Pay 1, tap self, mill 5 for each draw 1. But you also have an extra ability. On play, you can choose a card in hand and put into your stock. So you can kind of get some of your effects firing off kind of early. So even if it's the Brainstorm from the trial deck, it's still good in that regard to let you go ahead and get certain effects popping off. 3 copies of Pinpoint Missile Honest 00500, also from the trial deck. It does have, as a level 0, it has a crit trigger. Something to keep in mind, just saying. If you don't have another Nikke, it can't stand during your stand phase. But on play, you can discard a card, reveal the top card of your deck, and then you get to salvage back a character equal to the level of that card revealed or lower. So reveal level 3, you can add back a level 3 or lower. Really easy. Very, very good card. Definite need. This one I'm not 100% sold on just yet, but it's still good. 0025. It can't side attack. That's whatever. When this card is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can discard a card, look it up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Nikke character amongst them, add it to your hand, the rest go to waiting room. So more just searching, thinning out the deck, trying to get what you need. So next we have 1 copy of, I don't understand if I'm supposed to pronounce this or like supposed to be like Q's or like just say CIWS, Anchor, whatever. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can put a Nikke character from your hand to clock. If you do, look it up to X cards from the top of your deck and add a card amongst them to hand. X is equal to the number of characters that your opponent has. So if they have a full field, you can dig up to 5 and add any card amongst them to hand. Really neat. This Scarlet is also from the trial deck. Hone Sword Skills Scarlet, 0015. She gets a buff the turn that she's played. Basically, on play, you get 500 times the number of cards in your clock. So she actually can get pretty big and get over some stuff. But it doesn't really matter. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can put the top card of your stock into your clock. So no extra discards or anything, just saying. If you do, look it up to 6 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 Nikke character amongst them, add it to your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. Then look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them on top of your deck in any order, so you also get to see what's coming up. Oh, look, I see there's a climax, let me go ahead and brainstorm type thing, whatever. Or you can plan your attacks accordingly. Speaking of brainstormers, there's Red Wolf, Red Hood. This is a wild fucking card. Okay, the brainstormer effect first, because that's not going to take as long. Pay 1, rest self, mill 4 for each climax, salvage back a character. See? Done. The first effect's a fucking mouthful. When this is placed on stage from hand, pay 1, pitch 1. If you do, perform an action depending on what level you're at. At level 0, nothing happens, so you're not going to be using this effect on that. Level 1, if you're level 1 when this happens, all of your characters get +1 soul till end of turn. A little bit extra buff. It's kind of cool. If your level is 2, choose one of your opponent's characters, return it to their hand. This could matter possibly if your opponent set up like a funky wall. So this could matter. It's just a little bit extra thing, but the thing is you don't get to choose that effect like if you're at level 3. It depends on what your level is as to what effect pops off. The third one's funny. If your level is 3, deal 50 damage to your opponent. Look it up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a Nikke character amongst them. Reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. I love these random cards that are like, deal 50 damage to your opponent, or this card gets 50 soul, or some like other random cards that do that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's just meant to like kind of snipe a climax out of your opponent's deck or something. But it's just still funny to me. I think it's cool. So, Red Hood doing Red Hood things. Let's be real. 2 copies of Remember Me Delta. 0015. When this is placed on stage from hand, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them back in any order. Once again, having that knowledge is definitely useful. Also, because of this and like the other cards that let you see what the top card of your deck is going to be and adjust them accordingly, it kind of affects how you can play your Honest. So you're able to like, oh, let me look at these top cards. Oh, cool. I see that it's like a level 2 or a 1 or whatever the hell. Cool. I know when to play the Honest and just go for it. I almost said Honest from Yu-Gi-Oh. The play the Honest and you just like are able to grab the specific cards you need. So because of that, good synergy. Her second effect is when this was I accidentally clicked on it. When this is placed on stage from hand, pay 1, pitch 1, salvage back a Nikke, give another Nikke character 1,000 power till end of turn. Very nice. We got more Scarlet here. I actually really like the artwork for this. I might need to find like a wallpaper. 00500, Scarlet Black Shadow. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may pay 1. If you do, search your deck for 1 climax, reveal it to your opponent, and put 1 climax from your hand back into your deck. Basically, you exchange them. So it's a climax swapper, but not from waiting room. It's from the deck, which I think is really freaking cool. Second effect. When this is put into your waiting room from the stage, put one blue character from your waiting room at the bottom of your clock. Because it's when she's put into the waiting room, you could put herself. She basically is always a live target for that effect, which is great. If you have another Nikke character, you can do that. If you do, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose one level 1 or lower character from amongst them, add it to your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. So just being able to grab that, maybe grab your Dorothy combos or one of your other really good level 0s that you need. So really cool there. The last level 0 that we have before we talk about the event. This is just funny. It's called You Mad Bro? No, the level of smug is off the charts here, and I love it. 003K. During your opponent's turn, if all of your characters are Nikke, this gets plus a level in 15, so it should be a level 145. When this is placed on stage from hand, if you don't have it in a Nikke, you have to sack her, like, immediately. So, kind of annoying. But as long as you always play, like, something else in the back row, you're good. So shouldn't really come up or be an issue that much. You have plenty to work with. All right, so that's it for the level 0s. 2 copies of The Light Reflected in Her Eyes, a 3/0 backup event. So you get 2 different effects here, and it actually one of them actually does involve this particular Modernia, New World Modernia. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. So choose one of the following effects and perform it. Either draw a card, choose a card in hand, put it to your waiting room, choose a character in battle, and it gets plus 6 soul till end of turn. Basically, the attacking character would get 6 extra soul. Put this card into your clock. You're using that first effect to try to make it so your opponent has too much soul and it cancels. So there you go. Or choose one of your New World Modernia, the level 3 we just talked about. Put it into your memory. If you do, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them on top of your deck in any order, choose one of your opponent's characters and rest it. A rest counter with that level 3 Modernia. Actually kind of nuts, I'm just saying. And this is out of the freaking trial deck, so she very much pays for herself in spades, being able to go, oh cool, I on play summon another character, I do some burn damage, and then if you have the event, which not really a way to search the event, sadly, but it's all good. As long as you hard draw into it, you got 2 copies for a reason. You can just go, cool, okay, now I'm going to sack this, rest one of your characters, as long as they don't have hexproof, obviously, got to keep that in mind, but still very good. All right, 4 copies of Wings of Paradise for the Doro Doro memes. Goodness gracious, those booba are huge. And 4 copy of Red Ash for the Red Hood. It's just really freaking crazy there. I love it. So I realize we kind of have a Ruby theme going on here. We have Red Hood, Ruby. Snow White, Weiss. Scarlet, Black Shadow, kind of makes me think of Blake. I don't know who Elig would be. Maybe Yang would be Elig. I don't know. Whatever. We don't really have a blonde bombshell in here. I guess Tia? Maybe that's Yang. I don't know. I just want to throw that out there. But yeah, that is going to be it for the deck. Big thank you once again to Desmond for sharing this in the Community Fridays channel. If you want to submit your own decks as well, feel free to join the Discord. Link will be in the description. We have 2 different channels. There's a deck list submissions and a Community Fridays channel as well. Feel free to post it in either one. If I like it enough, I'll make a video out of it. That is going to be it. Thank y'all once again for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that cringy YouTuber shenanigans, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Stay based.